Hello and welcome to episode 24 of the Crochet Luna podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California. Hello everybody, it's so good to be back in front of the camera to share what's been happening in the last month and a half. I mean, all of September I didn't podcast. It was just too much going on, and in preparation for my holiday in the UK, I have a whole podcast worth of material for the San Diego yarn crawl and other stuff that has happened. But what I've decided to do with this episode is talk about my UK trip. I'm looking to split it probably into two parts, because there is just so much to talk about that I think that it will be better if I just do it in two parts, basically. So I hope everybody is doing well. I have missed talking to you guys. I have missed sharing the Yarny life with you guys, but just grab a cup of tea because I have so much to talk about. And yeah, let's get started. One of the things that I want to talk about that's not Yarndale related is what's happening here. I know that I have posted pictures on Instagram about it, but some of you don't have Instagram, and probably this is the first time you're seeing me without all the hair. And I just decided, it was, what, 2 months ago? I have been thinking about cutting my hair really short. I've been losing a lot of hair, partly because of the medication that I take, and just it's been thinning out, and I've been having a lot of issues with it. And I took my daughter to get her hair cut, and while she was getting her hair cut, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. So I had it cut. I took a picture, I shared it on Instagram. The very next day I still wasn't happy with the way it was cut, so I went back and had it further cut shorter. And I have been really enjoying having the short hair. I have to say, it's been very just liberating not have to deal. My natural hair is very thick and curly, but what's happened is that it's thinned out, so it's like thin here, and then it was like this mass of thick curly hair over here, and it just was driving me nuts. So it's been really nice having the short hair, and I'm thinking about going even shorter, even though my mother thinks I'm crazy, because I want to see if I can try to go gray, just a natural gray, and seeing that if I just take it shorter as it grows out, I'll have to deal with less of the black. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure, but I definitely have to tell you that I've been enjoying the short hair. It's just been so much easier to take care of and deal with, and it's just given me a lot of, it's just been a lot less stressful for me to deal with the hair being short. So I just wanted to say, for those who haven't seen me with the short hair, here it is. It's short. I like it, and I'm probably going to keep it for a long time. The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is an update on the dodgy bag buttons that you guys have purchased. I told you guys that I was going to go ahead and donate part of the proceeds to Parkinson's UK on behalf of Allie and her dad, who passed away earlier this year. And I wanted to let you know that I have made that donation. I actually made it before I left to the UK, and like I said, I had planned to do a full episode before leaving it, and it just didn't happen. We managed to raise enough funds to make a 40-pound donation to Parkinson's UK, and I was really happy that we were able to do that. I went ahead and asked Allie if it was okay to donate on behalf of with her father's name, and I was able to do that. So just wanted to show you guys here that we did go ahead and donate 40 pounds to Parkinson's UK, right there. And it was easy peasy. If you guys want to go ahead and make even the smallest donations can go really far for an organization like this, and it's so easy to donate. So I briefly talked to Allie a while ago, and we're hoping to do the dodgy bag mail again next year around the same time. I still have buttons left, so that I'd like to say that, you know, if we do it next year and you guys purchase buttons, we will go ahead and again donate the proceeds of those buttons to Parkinson's UK, and I'm more than happy to do that. The dodgy bag mail was so popular and successful that people are still making bags. People who had never made bags are still making bags. They really got bitten by the sewing bug through that mail, and I was so happy to participate and co-host it with Allie. So yeah, so we did it. We raised money, and it is now at Parkinson's UK. So thank you all to who bought the button. Thank you to everybody who participated in the mail, and I hope to see you next year. Let's talk sock along. Yep. Sock Along 2018 has been fantastic, and I am blown away. I still have not caught up in all of the chatter thread. I have to go back in there, but I am blown away with the participation of this the participation of this cow. I think everybody's making some incredible socks, and we're learning a lot, and we're helping each other out, and so I'm really happy with the way that the Crochet Along is going. And it runs through, if you don't know, the Sock Along runs through October 31st. So for Socktober, you can head over to the Crochet Luna chatter thread and chat about your socks. And then after that, you can head over to Catherine of Crafternoon's group. She's got the FO thread. There's a post in the chatter thread that I will share with you. It's post 813, and that's the one that Faye, who is the person who put together the sock along, lists all the details for the sock along. So it's got all the rules, it's got blog hop information. I mean, it is quite the extensive thread, and you can get everything that you need there. You can also go to the Instagram account of Tamara of Crafty Escapism. She is our sock guru in the sock thread. You can go to Catherine's, like I said, her Ravelry group has the FO thread, and then the blog hop, which I put together. If you go to my Instagram account, there is a post on there that tells you the dates of all the blogs and all the subjects that we are going to touch on, and it's pretty intensive. We have, so far, we've had, let's see, we've had sock making tips from Tamara. We've had yarn choice by Faye. To knit or to crochet socks, that is the question, by Caroline of who is Inspired Professor on Instagram and also hosts the Mind and Muse podcast. Then we have Sock Anatomy by Deanne, who is Deanne Ramsey, Addie Day Designs. And then October 6th, we had Toe Up versus Cuff Down. That is Joe's blog post that will go up. She is JoJo Twinkle Toes on Instagram. And then this coming Saturday, we have Color and Color Patterns by Marta, which is Mrs. Daft Spaniel.blogspot.uk. I will go ahead and put in all of the links for all the blog spots in my notes in case you want to go check any of those blog posts out. They are filled with so much good information. If you are ever tempted to crochet socks and you felt like, oh, I can't do it, this is the time to do it. The support is there, the information's there, and it's all basically been compiled to help you make crochet socks. So that is the Sock Along 2018. There are several hashtags that you can use. I will put those down here so that you can you know, tag your makes on Instagram. And also, like I said, if you post to Chatter, I will have several prizes in the Chatter thread, and I'm sure that Catherine will have some there will be prizes, people. There will be prizes. Here's my first UK share of this episode. When we were in Skipton, there was a little shop that had a bunch of cups in it, and I said to my sister-in-law, oh, I have to come back here because there was 2 cups that I really wanted. And I went and I came back, and they actually purchased the cups for me, which was so lovely. And this one is one of my favorites. It says, use not fat, use fluffy. So I love that. I am not fat, people. I am fluffy. So there you go. So this is one of my favorite cups now. I brought back so many cups, you guys. They are heavy. They are, at one point I thought, oh my God, I need 2 more cups. And then I talked myself out of them because there was no room. There was really no, I was ready to chuck my clothes and just fill my suitcase with more yarn. It was crazy, crazy. So I want to also talk about some alongs that are happening. And there is Allie from Little Drops of Wonderful. She is hosting the Strictly 2018 Sock Along, which runs September 22nd through January 7th, 2019. I love the length of this along because you can jump in at any point and you can double dip, and so it's because of the dates, there is no reason not to participate. If you're making socks for the crochet along and you can somehow tie it in to strictly dancing, then you can also participate in Allie's Cow. Then we also have the Nerd Along, which is a cow that is hosted by, it's currently being hosted by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. That along will run September 8th through November 22nd. You can reference, I think, her last podcast for all the details on that. I already have an idea of what I want to do, and I'm going to try and make something that can be entered in 2 cows. Then we have, let's see, Rosina's Cow, which is the C2C cow, which started on October 7th, which was, when was that, yesterday? No. I came in on Saturday, which was the 6th, so Sunday, this past Sunday it started. And it's going to run for 6 weeks, so I was looking at the calendar, it's like November 17th, please. You guys, my brain is still mush. I had no problems. I had 0 jet lag because of the crazy hours I keep going from here to the UK. But coming back, I came back Saturday afternoon. I could not put a coherent thought together all of Sunday. It was like I was hungover. It was like I had been hit by a truck. It was the most surreal experience. I was literally on the couch, and I would wake up, and I would be awake for a couple minutes, and I was watching football, and then I would just like pass out, and I would wake up, and it would be like 3 hours later, and then I think I ate once that day, and then I tried to like look at my phone, and it was just I could not focus. And so now here I am recording this podcast, and I don't even know the words coming out of my mouth. So I will try again. what was I talking about? Okay, Rosina's cowl, which started October 7th and will run for 6 weeks, which is about November 17th. That's the way it looks on the calendar. But if you go now, because I was messaging with her, if you go now and you want to purchase one of her corner to corner patterns, they are all 20% off, and she also has free patterns. So let me show you. I just purchased, because when I saw this blanket, I'm like, I have to somehow make this blanket. I have not made a blanket in a very long time. But I got the Havana Nights C2C blanket. I have to make this blanket. So I just got this, and it was 20% off. But she also has a nice cowl and hat set that is called Après Ski C2C winter set. So this is a free pattern in her Ravelry store. She also has other ones there, so definitely go check them out. I think 20% off a pattern is amazing. This is a 21 page pattern, I believe. No, again, you guys, my brain is mush. Okay, it's an 11 page pattern. 11 pages. 11 pages. But you get this beautiful blanket when you're done. If your brain is not mush and you can actually focus on reading a pattern, you will end up with a beautiful blanket. So that is Rosina's corner to corner along. Then there's also another along from Nicole, who is the Rabe Creations on YouTube. I will link her YouTube channel. She is running a Halloween cowl from September 21st through October 31st. She has a specific episode with the details of the cowl in her YouTube channel. I encourage you to go check it out. Nicole is crocheting some really nice stuff. So you can subscribe to her channel and be part of her along. She also has a Ravelry group that I will put the link so that you can post in her FO thread and her chatter thread. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4 cowls going on. 5 with the sock along. 5 cowls going on. Some of these you could probably cross, like double dip into. So I would, you know, for example, if you go to Nicole's channel, she's got less than 200 subscribers, okay? If you participate in her Halloween cowl and you post, your chances of winning are so much higher than, I mean, and that, like I said, I don't participate in cowls for prizes, but it would be a place where your odds of winning a prize would be higher because there's less people participating, you know, posting in her chatter and FO thread. Just saying. So, yeah, go check that out, and hopefully you guys will get... I can't even drink out of a cup. I need a straw. I'm going to drink my hot tea through a straw. You can enter some cowls and win some prizes. Okay, let's talk Yarndale. I don't even know where to start. I have decided to break up my UK trip into 2 parts, and in part 1 I will strictly only talk about the yarn, and in part 2 I will talk about all the lovely gifts that I got and some other things that I purchased. But let me just say this. It was so fantastic. It was so much fun. It exceeded any expectation that I could have possibly have. It was the most fun that I've had in such a long time. It was, I cannot say enough good things about the festival, the picnic, the meetup, the slumber party, the food. I mean, it was just so great. we got into the UK, into Heathrow on Friday morning, and we had planned to take a bus to King's Cross Station. Yeah, King's Cross Station. But the buses were on strike. The buses were on strike. So we Ubered over to King's Cross, which was actually really cool because my driver was French and I got to practice a little French with him. And then we jumped on a train to Leeds, and then from Leeds we switched over to a train that went to Skipton, and then we went into, we were able to walk from the train station to where we were staying in Skipton. And it is a lovely, lovely, lovely town. And I really enjoyed the train ride up there. And I have to say that the people on the train were so helpful to us. We overpacked a little, and we were scrambling to find places to put our luggage. And there were some lovely gentlemen who helped us to store our luggage out of the way. And because we had to Uber to King's Cross, we actually missed our train, and we were afraid we were gonna have to buy more tickets for the next train. But the train station said no, you can use the same ones, except that, you know, you get assigned seats, and we're now on the wrong train with seat numbers where there are already people sitting in there. And so, but again, lovely, lovely people that let us kind of like figure out the sitting situation, and that helped us with our luggage. So I enjoyed my trip up, looking through all the beautiful landscape on that train ride. And the place that we stayed at was really, really nice. Had a nice kitchen, had a washer and dryer. So it was very pleasant. Like, the whole thing was super pleasant. I mean, if you saw the parade of 6 women with way too much luggage going up that little street by the station, that was me. and my sister-in-laws and my mother. So we spent the night there. We went to a proper pub. Here's what I came away from the UK. The use of the word proper is very common. So we went to a proper pub and we had a proper dinner. At one point I had a proper tea and I liked that. So yeah, I went to a pub in Skipton that had an actual vegan menu, which was amazing. And I had really, really good vegan food. And my mother, who's a super picky eater, had really good dinner, so that was great. And my sister-in-laws ate. We all had really good food. We didn't have any issues with food. Not that I thought that we were, but because I am vegan and sometimes it's a little tricky, I can always make it work. But to have an actual vegan menu with a vegan offering of more than a couple dishes was so nice. So we had dinner, and then the next day was Yarndale, and Faye came to pick me up, which was so fantastic. I was so excited. I have been wanting to meet Faye for so long. We chat online, and she carries my pins in her shop, and I just feel like I have a nice connection with her. Like, we're like on the same page about so many things. We are like just share a lot of the same views on all this stuff. So it was like meeting an old friend. It wasn't like I was meeting her for the first time. I felt like I was just meeting an old friend. And she is a force to be reckoned with. Okay, she's like no joke, people. No joke. Don't F with Faye, because she's no joke. I was like in awe. This is, like I said, a force of nature. I love her energy, and I love how she just takes care of everybody, and she's so like, yeah, okay, we'll do this. Yeah, okay, we'll go there. Yeah, okay, let's go. Right, let's do that. I mean, she just is like on it, and everybody knows her. Everybody stops to talk to her. She knows the story and the backstory of everybody, and like I said, she was so wonderful to spend time with, and it was just wonderful to meet everybody. I'm in the car and I'm with Charlie and with Sam and with Beck, and it was just like so freaking cool. Like I said, I don't know that I'm going to be very articulate about so many things, because it was just a sense of joy and belonging and just being with my people. You know, we have this, you know, Crochet Clan hashtag that Faith started, and it does feel that way. It does feel like we are of the same mind, because we are crocheters. And yeah, some of us knit, and that's okay. Like, we're not going to be anti-knit. I refuse to be anti-knit, and I refuse to judge people because they want to knit, or they do knit, or they, whatever your knitting story is. If you crochet, you're one of us. So go ahead and knit. I don't care. I am enjoying knitting. I'm learning how to knit. But I'm just saying, I feel like we're very inclusive, and that we are just ready to embrace anybody who embraces, you know, the hook and yarn. You know, you do that, you're a part of us. So I really love that. And we had, first of all, my mom was with me, and so it was one of the things that I really was looking forward to, because my mom has traveled the world, but we've never traveled together, and so I was looking forward to spending some time with her. I don't know that we got to spend a lot of time, because, I mean, we did towards the end of the vacation, but at Yarndale, she's like, doesn't stop. Like, my mom is a self-sufficient person who does her own thing. So when we got to the auction mart and we were in, she's like, peace, I'm out. I'm going to go look around. And then I didn't see her for like the rest of the day until the picnic. And then people would say, oh, your mom's over here, or your mom's over there. Is she okay? And I'm like, she is perfectly okay. And she loves fabric, so she enjoyed looking at some of the stalls that had fabric, and so she enjoyed it in her way. But she said she really enjoyed the fact that I was with my friends, and that she was happy that I was happy. But yeah, my mom's pretty awesome. I think 3 people in the group that I was with want to be adopted by my mother. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and so it is overwhelming, I'll have to say. There is so much, there's so much to look at, and I tend to get a little overstimulated by colors and things like that, and I thought I was going to have a little bit of a harder time with crowds, but I think I was really running on adrenaline and happiness, and so I wasn't bothered by anything too much. I was able to absorb it, and I was able to enjoy it. But yeah, there is nothing that, there's not one stand at Yarndale that I didn't go into wanting to buy something, which was crazy. It was like I wanted something from everything, even things like there was a felting stand there, and I was like, I need some wool, I need to felt, I need to get stuff so I can felt. And then I was like, okay, hold your horses, because there's limited room in your suitcase, and so you're here for yarn, so let's focus on yarn. But yeah, I was ready to buy ribbons and wool to felt, and ceramic yarn bowls that definitely would not have made it back in one piece. And so it was a lot to look at. And I had told Faye that I had printed out a list of all the vendors, and I had highlighted the ones that I wanted to see. And I basically saw everybody that I wanted to see, which I was really happy about. One of the things that was really fun was seeing all the things that people purchased. And I would see somebody pull out some yarn and say, oh, this is so-and-so. I'm like, I didn't go to that stall. I need to go to that stall. I need some of that yarn. And one of the vendors that's sitting here recording this podcast episode, I still feel so bad that I was not able to make it, was the Fine Fish stall. Fine Fish, everybody who showed me their Fine Fish yarn had nothing but beautiful yarn, and I kept saying, I want to go there, and I ran out of time. Yeah, I did. So I'm sorely regretting not getting some fine fish. Maybe next time, or maybe online, but really, no. I bought so much yarn, and I actually was like, how am I gonna get all this yarn back to the States? How? And my mother, being the incredible woman she is, called me on Sunday while I was at Yarndale, and she says, do you need me to buy you another suitcase? And I said, yes, I do. So she bought me another suitcase, because I really had so much stuff that I was, I just knew I wasn't going to have room for it, and she helped me bring it back. Like I said, she's pretty incredible. But yes, fine fish was one of those yarns that I really wanted to go to get, and I wasn't able to get any. So, but I can't complain, you guys. I got a lot of yarn. Let's see. The picnic was super awesome. I met so many people, and I was so looking forward to meeting Catherine of Crafternoon Treats. And here she comes walking up, because she was volunteering at Yarndale. And, oh, she was just so nice. And she was with Floral Honeypot, who is such a riot, had so much fun. There was Nicole was there, who is Catherine's really good friend. And then Rosina showed up, and I just, oh my gosh, it was so much fun to meet her. And we actually walked around Sunday and totally enabled each other to buy more yarn. And then, let's see, Tamara from Crafty Escapism, who used to live in Texas, and then I go to Yarndale and I meet her for the first time. She was wearing the most fantastic red cowboy boots. She was so lovely. And then there was, oh my gosh, if I forget to name anybody, I do apologize. Trina, who is Brown Eyed Girl, who I didn't realize was you, Trina. Like, you know, she handed me this lovely, lovely package, and she was at the picnic, but it wasn't until later when I opened the package and I realized it was Trina. I'm like, Trina's won one of my giveaways. She's been a really great supporter of my Vlogcast. So I felt bad because I didn't recognize her until afterwards. But so as I was saying, I'm gonna separate the whole experience into two parts. Part one will be me talking about yarn and showing you some beautiful yarn, and then part two, I want to show you some of the beautiful gifts that I received, and also some other Yarny purchases that were not made at Yarndale, and then other purchases that were made at Yarndale but were not yarn related. So I feel like that will be a good way to approach it. But anyway, they made me some vegan wraps that were delicious. And oh, Trina brought some cookies that were, I'm sure, not vegan, but I ate one because somebody brings you cinnamon cookies that are super crunchy. You're not gonna not have one. I had one. It was really good. And then what was really, really funny is that everybody was saying how cold it was, and I thought it was just delicious. I was not feeling cold. I run hot. Like, I have a hot head. I tend to sweat really easily, and to me, being in that cool wind, it was just perfect. I loved it. And everybody else was cold. Everybody else was shivering and wanting, and I was like, no, I was totally fine. I was coming, you know, it had been like 93 degrees in San Diego a couple days before I left. It had been so hot that I was really looking forward to some cold weather, and I got some really nice weather. So, you know, we had the picnic, and we got to start our socks, which I didn't start anything. I took them with me. I only really took one project to the UK, and that was my sock project. But I was just so happy to be talking to people that I didn't even crack it open. And like I said, the picnic was awesome. The shopping was amazing. And then we went to the place that Faye had for everybody. And I got to spend the night with Charlie and Beck and Sam and Faye. I brought over a tequila bottle for us to have at the sleepover, because how can I not go there and not bring a tequila bottle, right? And we had a couple shots. It was pretty tame. We had a couple shots. We had tequila, we had chocolate, we had some wine. We had some other chocolatey goodness thingies. I don't know what it was, a tablet? No, it was something else. Anyway, it was all delicious. And then what was funny is that I was a little stressed out because I use a CPAP machine to sleep at night. If you guys don't know what CPAP is, it's a pretty bulky machine that has a long tube and a mask, and it pushes air into the airway that collapses for people who have sleep apnea, and I have severe sleep apnea. I've had it for a long time, and I said to them, well, it's the machine that keeps me alive and not dying at night. And poor Charlie, she was so stressed out because I couldn't plug it in, and I had issues with a converter that I had brought over, and so I couldn't use my machine. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be sleeping in this house with these lovely ladies and snoring like a bear. But I don't know if they were just being polite or we were just so tired, but nobody complained about me snoring. I don't even know. I passed out at one point. I just literally passed out. But yeah, I was like so stressed out about that because I usually don't sleep without it. I don't get good sleep if I'm not plugged into my CPAP. But it's super bulky, and yeah, so I didn't use it one night while I was in the UK, and I slept pretty much every single night. So that was pretty amazing. And so then the next day was Sunday, and we went back to Yarndale, and we went back to do a little bit more shopping, which was lovely because I got to spend the day on Sunday going around with Rosina and looking at different yarns and different things, which is really nice. And but on Saturday I got to go around with Faye and her lovely friend Lucia from Italy. What a nice lady. She was so nice. And it sounds to me like she's super talented. So she's working on getting her first design out, and I hope she does it. Faye gave her till like the end of the year. Faye's like, you better get cracking, and I'm going to be on you, and you're going to get this design out by the end of the year. So I'm sure with Faye's help, that design will be coming before the end of the year. But yeah, I just have such nice memories of everything, and I had tea with Catherine. It was so nice. It was so nice. I sat down and had proper tea. I had a cup of tea with Catherine, and oh my gosh, there was the other lady that was there. Was it Flora that was there with us, Catherine? No, who was with us? It wasn't Nicola. Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking out. Who was with us? Catherine, let me know. I don't, and I apologize to the lady that was with us. I don't remember. I think she was working with Catherine as well. But we had a lovely chat, and we had nice tea, and it was so nice to be able to sit down and talk to Catherine, who gave me like the most amazing yarn prize to give away on the podcast, and some really beautiful hand-dyed yarn from her shop. But yeah, let's get started with the yarn porn. Okay, let's talk some yarn. I was so excited to see this particular yarn stall. I follow them on Instagram, and I was taken by two things: their story and their sheep. And so I was determined to go head over to Dalton Border Leicester's. I can never say that name. Leicester's. And one of the things that I love about them is that they are a no slaughter farm. From sheep that live to grow old, they refuse to slaughter their sheep, so their sheep just get to grow old. And I call them my bunny sheep, because when you look at their ears, to me they remind me of little bunnies. And so this is the picture from their website. But look at those ears. They are the cutest sheep, and I got to spend a little time with Ellie and Jeff, and there was another girl that was helping there in their stall. I didn't catch her name, I'm really sorry, but they have beautiful, beautiful yarn. So I went ahead and I purchased just different colors. I don't have a project in mind, but I'll show you. I'm really into yellow right now, you guys. This is 100% wool, of course, with this beautiful yellow. And this is 300 meters for 100 grams of 4-ply yarn. So I bought several colors to put in my stash. I was really determined on this trip. I had told Faye I was really wanting to focus on bringing DK weight yarn back with me. I did a quick inventory of my stash before I left, and I do not have any significant quantities of DK weight in my stash. And so I thought this is what I wanted to focus on, is DK weight. I also want to say that though it looks like I purchased a lot of yarn, and I did purchase a lot of yarn, I'm looking forward to next year, and I'm not going on a yarn ban or a yarn diet, even though I did purchase a lot of yarn. But I am going to inventory the yarn that I have and really focus on working with what I bought. And I even created a hashtag for myself, and it's going to be hashtag Yarndale 2018 stash make. So that every time that I use yarn that I purchase at Yarndale, I will use that hashtag, and hopefully I can get through a significant portion of this yarn. It is such a luscious, beautiful yarn that it needs to be worked. So I encourage you to use that hashtag if you bought yarn at Yarndale and you want to use it and share that you've used your Yarndale yarn. Go ahead and use that hashtag. I will be using that hashtag as well. I don't have particular projects earmarked for all the yarn that I bought, but what I tried to do is get quantities of yarn that I thought would allow me to make projects. So I didn't get a lot of single skein yarns, which I was really happy about, and I did try to find yarns that were somehow, if you put them together, would go well together. So that's one of the things that I really focused on. Like I said, DK weight yarn, a lot of tonals, because I don't have a lot of tonals in my stash, and a lot of multiple skeins of the same color, with the hopes that they will become something in the near future. So I also purchased a little mini gradient set, which I thought was really, really pretty. And Ellie was such a blast. She is no joke. She was so lovely, high energy. Rosina was with me. I think she got a little scared because I'm kind of pushy. Like, she said, I've been looking for a crochet designer, and I'm like, well, here's a crochet designer right here. And then Rosina liked this really pretty green color, and she grabs it, and Nellie's like, I hate green. It's hideous. And we're both like, oh my gosh. Like, it was a very unexpected reaction to her own yarn, but it was kind of like this green. It was a proper green, you guys. It was beautiful. I really want to support them. I love what they're doing. She invited me to go to the farm. If I had stayed longer, I could have gone to the farm, you guys. I respect that they love their sheep so much. They have handsome sheep, Sam the Ram. Their sheep are absolutely beautiful. And Ellie was nice enough to gift me this hand-dyed yarn by the Knitting Goddess. I thought that was really beautiful. So like I said, I will put links to all of these places because you have got to go see the Dalton flock and all of the beautiful yarn, and their knitted samples were absolutely gorgeous. And I am hoping, I have high hopes that Rosina will be able to design something for them, because I have plenty of yarn to test her pattern and make a couple of whatever she designs. So that was my Dalton flock purchase. Then we've got, I have 2 tubs full of yarn. I've been interested in purchasing some Angora previously, and I was able to find a stall that sold it. It's Big Wigs Angora, again with the yellow. I am loving the yellow. I bought 2 little balls of that, plus this really beautiful blue. I think this combination is not only Chargers, NFL football, my favorite football team, their colors, but it's actually a really nice combination. And I was talking to the lady, and she had a couple of the bunnies there, and she said that sadly she lost a lot of her bunnies to a virus last year. So because I asked her about breeding, and she said they're very temperamental to breed, and that she was thinking that she had lost a lot of her bunnies that were of breeding age, which was really sad. So Big Wigs was on my list to purchase, and I was able to purchase. Next we have Beehive Yarns. Look at her beautiful label. I bought this really beautiful sort of rusty color. And then these are single skein yarns, but they're so pretty. Got these 2. This is just a lot of beautiful color in there. And I got this one, was just calling out my name. I love, love, love all the colors. And there's actually, if you look closely here, this color is actually very similar to this color. Now, I don't know if those 2 will go together, but I really like the way they look. I found another yarn dyer who uses ethical wool, and it's from a slaughter-free flock of rare, I don't even know the words. I don't even know what words are coming out of my mouth. Rare breed Wellensdale and Blue Face Luster. The color is absolutely beautiful. So I bought 2 of those. And these are actually dyed with cochineal, which is a little bug that is like made into powder, and then people dye, and you can get all ranges of red, magenta to like this beautiful pale pink color. Next we have a name that I will absolutely butcher and cannot pronounce. Olcentrum, which is 100% Swedish wool. And I love this color combination. This is the company. Next up, we have Truly Hooked. Got this beautiful yellow. Again, look at all these beautiful colors in this wool. Now this is a fingering. Yeah, it is a fingering weight yarn, but I don't mind. I didn't buy a lot of fingering weight yarn. I have to tell you, I bought very little of it. Most of it is DK weight and higher. So here's another Truly Hooked. And it's got, this one's got sparkle in it. It's got yellows and greens and blues. And then this one is a standard, what they're calling a standard DK. And it's this really beautiful grays with these pops of color and the yellow. So this was truly hooked, and this was a good deal. This was these three for 30 pounds is what it was. Whoa. So obviously they're not going to go together, but they're from the same company, same dyer. Beautiful colors. I was really happy with that. Next we have, oh, I was so excited. I have been looking for some Halloween yarn, and I saw this stand by the, oops, I dropped it. The Knitting Sweden, and she only had one of these because she said she tried to replicate this and was not able to. So this is a one-of-a-kind sock blank. How crazy fantastic is that? And this actually is made of 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. Obviously perfect to make some socks. But I don't know that I can take apart those witches. So I also got this one, which is a Halloween colored one, which I thought was super fun. And they were a lovely couple. They had some really, really nice yarn. She actually, like I said, I'm only talking about the yarns in this episode, but she also has a crochet pattern for some gloves, and I bought the pattern. So bummed out that I missed out on being able to buy her her mini gradient that came, that she actually did exactly for that fingerless glove pattern. But I'll share the pattern on the next episode. Okay, next we have Rauwerk. It's German, I believe. Now, I could be totally talking out of my ass. I don't know. I just know. I don't know. I just know it's pretty. So, this is the company. This is the company. So, this is the same company, but the yarn is dyed by Hey Mama Wolf. So, I thought this would be a really nice combination. And this is just beautiful woolly wool. It smells like wool. It feels like wool. It's not like a buttery soft cashmere superwash merino silk blend. It's not like that, but it is absolutely luscious. I love it. It's what I'm calling proper wool. So that's this combination here. Then we have, I'm so excited about, I almost did not make going to the stall. I almost missed. And I was getting a little super bummed, but I'm like, I've got to go see Rusty Ferret. I have got to get my hands on some Rusty Ferret yarn. I love her. I follow her on Instagram. I remember I used a video that she posted about the yarn stash and how you shouldn't be embarrassed by having a yarn stash because it's a creative path. And I really liked her video, and I linked it in one of my podcasts. So I was really excited that she was there. And I bought 2 DK weight yarns. It was this one and this one. This is luscious. Look at the different colors in this yarn. It is filled with just a depth of color that I just absolutely love. How can you not love that? That's just too cute. And again, look at this beautiful yellow. So I bought that. And then I also purchased, I think these were the last two maybe of the fingering weight things that I bought. I don't know, but how can I pass this up? This is called Cryptic. Look at all the beautiful, beautiful colors in this yarn. This is absolutely gorgeous. And I also, again, because yellow is my jam right now, I bought this that has a beautiful yellow with this like black speckling, and like look at this pop of blue-green color. Absolutely gorgeous. Have no idea what I'm going to do with them. And some of it might be for a giveaway, so stay tuned. I will talk about the giveaway in the next episode, because I have reached over 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. My mind is blown. I haven't even addressed it. I can't like wrap my head around it. I am incredibly thankful. This journey with yarn and hook, I would never have imagined when I started this Vlogcast like 19 months ago or something like that, that it would take me across the ocean to a new country, to meet Yarny friends, to have access to beautiful yarn. I never, ever would have thought that. And it has been the joy of my life to be able to be part of this community. And so the yarn is just, it's just so nice. And I love it. So yeah, I will be talking about that 2,000 subscriber giveaway on the next episode. Now, I also was very much on a mission to visit River Knits, because River Knits, Becky and Marcus, they are absolute artists with their way they color, the way they dye their yarn. Their colors are absolutely just beautiful, beautiful, jewel, just luscious. I remember looking at the stand at River Knits and just thinking about how vibrant their colors were. They're not two-dimensional colors. They have depth, and they just are just so luscious. And so I definitely wanted to get some River Knits. So I got this set, which is absolutely gorgeous. Again, I'm on a yellow kick, and this one is, I think this was a specially dyed set. But yes, I love her beautiful yellow. And then Faye was wearing her arete shawl, and I wanted to pick the colors to make it because I want to make it. And so I'm picking these colors. Here. I love this color. Now this colorway is called Haystacks. And just look at the variety, the beautiful tones in this color. Gorgeous. So I've got two of these, and then my center part of our arete is going to be this beautiful, very dark, plummy color. And then I also bought this other really beautiful mini. And I actually bought a couple other minis, but I think I gifted those already. But yes, River Knits, absolutely beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then, my light is changing. Can you guys see the lines here? My window and my light is changing. So I will wait for the sun to change course a little bit, and then I will be back. Alright, I am back. I had to take a little break from recording to take my son to his football practice and see my husband off. He is traveling to Las Vegas on a business trip. And so he has just left. And I am back to recording. I'm going to take a break from showing more yarn to talk about 2 FOs that I have. These are the 2 FOs that went with me. Actually, I took 4, but these are the 2 FOs that got the most use while I was in the UK. And the first one is the lovely Skipton hat by Miss Vicki Brown. This is a free pattern. It is a wonderful pattern. I love this pattern. I believe I have already uploaded my notes to Ravelry because I did shorten the body of it by 5 rows. So it's still very slouchy, but as you can see, but I did it per the pattern and it was way too slouchy for my head. So I went ahead and cut 5 rows from the main body, and it is beautiful. The yarn is spun right round. It's got all these gorgeous colors. That's very much true to color right there. My mom got to wear this hat, so I took this hat and this other one I'm going to show you, and she I wore this on Saturday, I believe, and then she took it on for the rest of the trip. So this is my Skipton hat. That is my FO. And then I was lucky enough to pattern test the Mirage ponytail hat and cowl by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. This is a hat that she designed with the yarn that was given to her by Debbie at Sin City Knits while we were there on our crochetcation. And there's Hannah wearing hers, and here is mine. This is the one that I wore from Sunday till I came home on Saturday. And you can see the beautiful gray, how it goes from the more blue up here to, and it kind of grades out to less and less. This is a wonderful pattern. I've got my pom-poms, and I was telling Hannah when I saw her, I said, you know, one of the best parts about this pattern is that at the end you have 0 yarn left. There isn't a bit of yarn left, because whatever you have left, you can put it in your pom-pom. So your pom-pom can be, you know, if you have a lot left, then you have a bigger pom-pom. And if you have a little left, then you have a little pom-pom. But I just showed it to you in hat form, and I'm excuse me, I'm undoing it right now so I can show it to you in cowl form. I did not use it as a cowl. The whole time I was there, I used this as a hat, and I love it. Here it is. I have not blocked either of these. So here it is in cowl form, and again, let's see if I can fix that and make it look a little more presentable. Okay. Yeah, it was in hat form the whole time, so probably if it gets a good block, it will not be so wavy on top, but I don't mind. I mean, it's such a nice pattern. I can't recommend this enough, because like I said, you can do it as a one skein project where you end up with nothing, because the rest of it, you know, is going to go in your pom-poms right there, and it's just very satisfying to finish a project and have no yarn left. And what else can I say about this? The pattern's well written. There's no issues. I really enjoyed working with the yarn. I really enjoyed working the pattern, and it's a quick make. So these 2 were my UK FOs. I also took my crisscross shawl, that is a design by Faye of the Crochet Circle podcast. It's my hot pink one with that I made out of oink pigments. I don't have it here with me. I took that, and then I took Rosina's Rapture because I wanted her to see it. And that was all the... Oh, you know what I took? And I will post a picture of it. I'm going to do like a little montage of pictures of the yarn and some of the things, some of the pictures from Yarndale. And I have a picture of the fingerless mittens that Tara of Mitchell's Creations made for me that I actually took to the UK and wore a couple times. They came in really handy. So those were the things that I took to the UK, and they all came in handy. So then, let's see. From there, I guess we can get back to some luscious yarn. And I knew when I went, and I knew that when I, you know, had this whole trip planned, that one of the stalls that or one of the vendors that I really wanted to visit was John Arbin. They had sent me some John Arbin yarn last year, and it's gorgeous yarn. And so I knew that I was gonna do some damage at John Arbin. And I met Juliet, who was so funny and nice, who was actually quite appalled at the fact that I had only tried gin the night before, and that's only because Charlie was drinking some gin, and she recommended that I try the same drink that she had, which was at the dinner on Saturday night. There was a dinner that was put on by Chrissy Crafts and Annaboo's House and Sweet Sharma. They are the ladies who run the Crochet Zine, which if you do not follow the Crochet Zine on Instagram, you need to do it. It is a great it's a great collaboration because it's on Instagram, it's a quick read, it's got patterns, it's got interviews, it's got information, it's got fun little poll. I mean, they just do it really well. They've put together a really quality product. So those three ladies put on the dinner, and we went there, and I got to sit with Becky and Marcus of River Knits and their adorable son, Faye, Charlie, Rosina, Beck, Sam, then there was, like I said, Chrissy, and the Crochet Scene group, Annaboo's House, and Sweet Sharma, and there was somebody else. I'm missing somebody. And then we adopted a crocheter that was sitting there by herself. I'll put her Instagram name here. So this lady comes over, and I guess she'd been eating, and she was staying at the pub where the dinner was. I believe her name was Kate. I want to say Kate. And I guess somebody saw that she was eating by herself, and so they brought her over to our table, and she was lovely. She was so nice, and she was so happy to be sitting with us and, you know, be talking crochet, because she had gone to the festival by herself, and so she had just, I guess that's what she thought she was going to do, is just hang out by herself and enjoy the couple days that she was there. But we kind of adopted her, and she was a blast. It was really nice to spend time with her. So yeah, let me show you some more yarn. Oh my god, you guys, it's freaking tragic. I mean, it's like I can't get my tongue to work correctly. So as I said before, I was interested in buying multiple quantities of yarn with the hopes that they will become something. And this is the Harvest Hues by John Arbin. And I have it in this really pretty blue color. It's showing up a little bit more blue than it really is. And that's why I will be including some pictures that show the color probably a little bit closer to what it is. I'm having a difficult time photographing things because of the time of day I photograph and then the lighting that I'm using. So I'm going to do my best to capture the colors of the yarn. And then I bought a bunch of Knit by Number yarn in tonal colors because as I mentioned before, I don't have a lot of tonal in my stash. I have a lot of one skein, speckled, stripy things, and I can't, unless I just focus on doing one skein projects, I don't really have a way of incorporating the really pretty speckled, colorful yarn into something that that is, like I said, beyond a one skein project. And I'm looking to do shawls, I'm looking to do cows, I'm looking to do ponchos. I'm looking to do other things. And so I was on a real mission to get some nice tonals. So I got several skeins of, these are the 4-ply yarns by John Arbin, knit by numbers. See, they're just tonals. And then I also got like a kind of like just a variety of colors that I know that will incorporate well in the stash. I mean, look at this beautiful yellow and the hot pink. I'm still loving the pink, you guys. It's just that I think as I'm moving towards fall, I'm looking more for the yellows and the fall colors. But there's this really pretty blue green and gray and this really pretty green that I liked. So you did that. And then they also had this Exmoor, I can't pronounce it. With the way my brain is working right now, I'm not even gonna try. I'll just show it to you. It's Exmoor and that Z word right there. Which is also a DK weight yarn, which is so sheepy. It's beautiful. It's 60% that Z word wool. I'm gonna write it here. I'm gonna write it here so you can see it. 60% of that wool, 40% Exmoor blue face, and it's a double knit yarn, and it is just the sheepiest, most gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's kind of like a brown. It's looking gray right now because of the horrific lights that I'm under, but it's sort of like this really beautiful brown color. Maybe back here it looks a little bit better. So I got 2 of those, and then oh yeah, and I got this color, which I don't know what it is about this color that is really calling my name too. I got like that cochineal that I was showing you is this really pretty peachy color, but I almost was thinking of something like this. I really like the way that looks. So I got lots of the John Arbin to put in the stash, which I was really happy about. And then I was with Charlie and I saw this yarn and I thought, ooh, this would be an awesome Christmas sock project. I was telling her that we as a crochet community need to come up with a word that is equivalent to cast on. Like when we start a I love the fact that knitters say, oh, I want to cast on this, or I'm going to cast on that, or I need to cast on. But we don't really have a word for that. We have, what do we have? Chain? But that doesn't really impart the idea that you're starting a project. So if you guys have any ideas for a word that we can adopt, or a term that we can adopt that is crochet friendly for the start of a project, I think that would be fantastic, and I would start using it yesterday. So I found this sparkly yarn by Rosie's Moments, and it's Christmas is Coming. What do you guys think of a pair of sparkly socks made with this beautiful yarn? If this doesn't say Christmas, I don't know what. And it comes with here's her label. My labels are all jacked from being in a suitcase. It comes with a little lavender satchel, which I think is a great touch. So this is going to be my Christmas sock project. It smells so wonderful. Then, I think if you guys saw Faye's last podcast where she showed this yarn, we were both drooling over it. I cannot believe, and the price of this yarn was so reasonable. It's the wool from Di Pecora Borgna, which is an Italian sheep. This is the sheep. Look at that face. And this is how the yarn comes. Oh, so sheepy. I could sleep with this under my pillow. I love the smell of it. See, that's the thing. Like, I wanted real proper wool. I wanted this wool that is just, you can feel that this was a sheep before. And this wool is so nice. And I may or may not dye this. I may or may not dye this. I'm not sure. And then she had this incredible mohair. Oh, and she's an Italian dyer. And her company name is Officina del Colore Naturale. I'm not Italian. I don't speak Italian, so that was my attempt at that. And I got this beautiful mohair. And then this beautiful yellow yarn. Here's her label. It's like a mustardy yellow. It's really pretty. There, this is more true to color right here. So I really, really like that. So I think these two paired up would be awesome. Faye has an idea for a shawl that I think would be amazing using the mohair and that. So hopefully she'll do that. Knowing her, she'll be like, here's a DK weight. Here is the fingering weight. Here's the knitted and crochet version. So, you know, she's got our back. And I also purchased some minis that she had because they were so pretty. Again, I'm at, like, I was going to say San Diego. I am a Los Angeles Charger fan. That's my NFL team, and their colors are basically, you know, the blue and the yellow. So I got this little set of minis, and I also got this set of minis because I thought these were really pretty. There's like a green, that looks more like it. So I got that. And then I found more beautiful sheepy wool from Northern Yarn. And they are actually, I believe this was the one that was in Yorkshire. Yes, this is the Yorkshire yarn. And it's a Pole Dorset and Blueface Leicester. So you got 3 of those. And then these, I decided I would not dye. I would love to just make something out of this beautiful yarn. I don't know what, but we'll see. And then I got some really, really pretty Finnish wool. These two I think would go well together. And it's 100% Finnish wool. Everything smells so good. The company name is that. For some reason, my phone today does not want to focus. There's the name of it. And I thought these two would go really well together. Almost done. So, like I said, Vicki Brown, I stopped at her stall and she has some really, really beautiful yarn. And she released a pattern for some socks that if you read the name of the pattern, you would say Magdalene socks. But I was lucky enough to be sitting in a train at the same time that Sophie, who I'll talk about in a little bit, was also at, and we were chatting and we were talking about this. She set me straight. So the pattern name is not Magdalene, it's Magdalene. Magdalene. I think I said that right. So I knew that I was going to buy, I knew that I wanted to buy some Vicki Brown yarn, and I wanted to buy the kit that she put together for that free pattern. So this is not part of it. This is just another yellow that I purchased because I purchased a lot of yellow because it's beautiful. So I got this yellow, which I think if I hold it here, it looks better. Yeah. I got this really pretty yellow. And then the kit that comes with the for that pattern, which is the main sock yarn with all this really pretty purples and speckles, and then you've got your cuff, and you've got your cuff and your heels in these two little ones, which I thought were really pretty. So it's like this. So these will be my Magdalene socks. And then I found another sock pairing from a company called Sylvian Tiger Yarn, which is British wool, naturally hand-dyed in Yorkshire. And again, it's really beautiful. Here's the company name. It's this really beautiful yellow, and then the yarn itself has these peachy colors with different speckling on it, which I think will make fabulous socks. Again, look for some pictures because I need to post better pictures. The lighting is not doing the yarn colors justice. One of the vendors I definitely wanted to visit was excuse me, Mothy and the Squid. I have been a big fan of their yarn, and actually I had a lovely Vlogcaster viewer sent me a mini last year for Christmas, and I've been drooling over their yarn ever since. So I went over there, and their stall was absolutely amazing. They would have the inspiration picture of the yarn, and then a picture of the yarn, and then the actual yarn. So I could have got a lot more, but I was restrained. I came home with this. This is not beautiful. So there's this one. This one is Industrial Accident. I think I read that right. Industrial Accident. All the colors, all the speckles, and it's. I think this has got to be like a tweed of some kind. Yeah, Donegal nap is what they call it. Because if you see here, there's like little naps of color throughout the whole yarn. Those are not speckles. They're just pieces of yarn. You see that? Like these little pieces right here. But this yarn is so beautiful. This one is absolutely my favorite. Again, do you see the little naps right there? Look at these beautiful colors. The greens and the fuchsia and the yellows, and then the like blues. I mean, this yarn is absolutely gorgeous. And I'll show you, I did take a picture of the inspiration photograph for this yarn. Then there's this one here. This one is called Zombie. I can't read it. Zombie Blood Moth? I don't know. What do you guys think? And then look at their cool little tag. And then look at the beautiful yarn. So, it's Christmassy again, I think, but this one does not have sparkle. It's very soft. It just had to come home with me. And then again, a beautiful green. This one is called New Life. And it has pinks and reds. It's got blues. It's got all kinds of beautiful colors. So this is Mothy and the Squid. I could have bought the whole stall. I just was very restrained. It smells wonderful. So that is all the yarn from Yarndale. I know it's a lot of yarn, and some of you are probably so not interested in any of this. But this is part of the vacation journey that I took, and my focus was to go to a yarn festival and buy the yarn that I have been admiring for over a year. When I said on this podcast that I was going to go to Yarndale, I had told my husband I'm going to Yarndale, and he just very graciously said okay. And I was on a mission to bring back the yarn that I'm going to work with next year. That's going to yield me some incredibly beautiful projects that I cannot get here in the States. Like, I'm sure I can get all this online, but it's one thing to shop online and another thing to see the beautiful yarn in person. Like I said, I don't know that had I not gone to Yarndale, I would have ever known to buy this beautiful wool from this rare sheep in Italy. And this was what I've been working towards for a whole year, and I enjoyed every bit of it. The yarn purchasing part, the looking at the colors and all that was incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. So I will not apologize for all my yarn, because I love all my yarn, and I will enjoy it, and I will make beautiful things that I will share on the podcast. And so with this, I will conclude part 1 of my Yarndale trip. I also wanted to just quickly say that I uploaded 11 new pin designs to my Etsy shop, and that they are there. I think a couple of the older pins are almost going to sell out, if not have already sold out. So I will be putting in an order for, I know for sure, the Crochet Powers pin. I think I have one left. And there's a couple that I'm running low on, so I will be reordering. But just very quickly, I posted about it on Instagram, but like I said, I know some of you guys don't follow me on Instagram. So I created a couple new designs, and I'll show them to you real quick. This is Top Secret Crochet. This is one of my favorite ones right now. Project on Timeout, because I have so many projects on timeout right now that I gotta get to. I designed what I'm calling them the Crochet Seasons pins, and they can be purchased individually, or you can purchase the whole set. Here is Fall Crochet with the little fox. Here is Winter Crochet, and here is Spring Crochet. This was a very difficult one to photograph, because the yellow, my camera has a hard time picking up that yellow. And then we've got Summer Crochet, which is nice. And then my Yarnister pin. This was something that just came to me. I was sitting here designing a different pin, and I was thinking about Game of Thrones, and then I thought, House Yarnister, that would be so funny. And I went looking for the crest for House Lannister, and I thought, oh yeah, I've got to get that made. So this is my House Lannister pin. I am designing House Baratheon and a couple more that will be coming your way, which should be a lot of fun. And then the one that it just puts a smile on my face. I've been just thinking about certain things after the yarn crawl that didn't sit right with me about how people view crochet. And it's, you know, I won't get into it because we all know the issues with that. But I don't know, between sitting at my desk and going to the kitchen, it just hit me. Nobody puts crochet in a corner, and that's from Dirty Dancing. So I think I designed this pin in like 10 minutes. It was perfect. It just came to me so clearly, and I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I want. And what was funny is that when I had breakfast with Charlie and Sam and Beck and Faye, we were talking about different pin ideas, and Faye had handed me an envelope with some patterns, and I didn't have anything to write with, so I just took the envelope, and they started just saying all these incredible ideas for pins. So not only do I have a notebook full of my pin ideas, but I have now several pages of future pin ideas. So the pin train is not coming to a stop anytime soon. I have actually right now 10 designs that I'm working on that should be coming out before the end of the year. I have 3 Christmas designs coming out, and I have just a bunch of things that will be made into pins. And I'm looking to get different shapes of pins. I just contacted my manufacturer about getting square pins made and oval pins made and heart-shaped pins made. And I really want to stick with the pin backs because they are so much more affordable, I think, than the enamel pins. I did have an idea for an enamel pin, which will come out in the spring. But for now, I'm really happy with designing the pin backs and making them accessible and affordable to everybody. So again, this is part 1 of my UK vacation. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I will see you in part 2 very soon. My name is Claudia. I am Crochet Luna on Instagram, Ravelry, my blog. It needs a lot of work. Is Crochet Luna at my Facebook, which is sorely neglected. So I will see you soon. Bye.